me show you. 1 second. Actually, I'll talk you guys through this in a bit. I'll be back. You guys let me know if you have any questions. I'm here though, but I gotta jump on the other call real quick. All right, guys. I'm gonna just run it through really quick again. Um, all right. I hope you guys are there. If you guys aren't there, I'm not gonna talk about it again. So, all right, we're gonna take a look at ES in its by itself. This is a day chart, but let's go to a weekly first. If you go to a week, actually no, monthly. If you really look at a monthly, we've just been within this range. Nothing surprising, nothing crazy has happened, right? We haven't fallen out of the sky. Weekly, same thing. Clearly you can see this big high here. We haven't broken that. We haven't broken anything. We're just within this range. If you want to look at it in a wedge pattern, you can see that. Um, you know, I again, I don't trade wedge patterns, but it's something that you want to at least pay attention to consolidation. So clearly we're consolidating, and we might go sideways here for, I know for us, some of us, a lot of us, 200 points, 100 points is a big deal, but you have to see in a direction of move. This is going to get smaller and smaller. It's going to get tighter and tighter. So that's something that you need to pay attention to. And on the daily, we, last week we had a big move up, and then we just came back down and tested the same things, right? We tested the major level, and from here on, it is buying before you sell. Why is that? If you look at the bond spread, we're right here back down to this essential triple bottom, whatever you want to call it. So we're buying them before we sell them. Even if you look at it against uh, the dollar index, we're holding pretty well. This area we're holding well. So we just got to keep an eye on that. I think it's going to range quite a bit. Going back to an hourly chart, once you're going to range a bit, specifically say like end of the week, what you want to do is you want to go into a lower time frame scenario after doing your analysis on a bigger time frame to kind of see areas where you want to trade, because if you can't rely on a bigger time frame to get trades if you're looking for a trade every single day. Now, for me, I think what can happen is we get down to either the 39.12 level and test it from above, like we did in Globex, and or back down to 38.95. Again, what you want to do is you want to take identified levels, whichever levels you guys want to use, whether it's major levels or your own levels, and buy them down here. And you want to potentially, for a small time frame trade, sell them once it gets up to 45.50. 43.75 to 45.50 is where I would sell them. First time up, it's a sell, and you can bring it back to value, which probably isn't that low. Something we'll discuss later on when during the trading session. But on the buy side, since again 43.75 to 45.50, you're taking one stab and one stab only to the short side. On the buy side, you can have multiple stabs. At least for me, the plan is that once it gets to 39.12, once it gets to 39.06, and maybe even 95, I'm looking to buy there. I don't feel like today's going to be a breakout day. You could, again, sell it on, say, yes, Globex low or some shit. You're going to get some points out of it. You might even get 10, I don't know, 10 points out of it, but the risk is too high. To gain 10 points, max 10 points, your risk better be 1 point, right? Because out of that 10 points, you're probably not going to get all 10 unless you're risky. So I would definitely say that buy them before you sell them within this area. If you have really, really good entry management, then maybe you could buy, or short it at the low of, Globex or yesterday or something. I don't have that good of an entry, so I'm buying it. Even if it breaks the low of yesterday, I don't think it's going to run very much. So at least that's the plan. So just quickly drawing it, I think the scenario is kind of mixed. I think 1 and 2 is very, very mixed. I think we can definitely come down to here, come up, and then just essentially just range out for the rest of the day. Um, or we could actually, number two, come up to here, come back down, and just range out for the rest of the day. And that'll be for that's scenario two. And or, which I think is fairly highly unlikely, um, we just don't do shit. We're literally just going to do that for the rest of the day. I don't think that's very likely. Again, there's not much going on today. Not a lot of news. End of the week, you're not going to take big trades. It's just going to be short time frame trades. At least that's my read on the market. Um, I'll do some quick analysis. Anyone have questions? By the way, for crude, I'm looking for it to come down to 80, um, 80.58. We have a major level there at 80.62, I believe. Yep, 80.62. And that's where I'm going to buy. Crude oil is a buy before you sell as well. Even though we're on top of the range, I'll show you why. Right here, this is crude oil. The volatility index is down. We're essentially, you know, going bid on against the ruble, the yen, a lot against the yen, against the 10-year bond, against the bond, even against the gold. So this is something that I would say it's more risk on than anything else. um, if you're trading gold, we got into really good support here. I would say see how it plays out once we open, and then just it's just risk on. I think the lowest we'll get is 21.6. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. For the Boons, for Italians, they're all right there at support. So really not much to do right here. Um, the 30-year has found support. Um, you know, I think it's definitely a buy. Uh, here's the bonds. Bonds right here. We're getting into really good support. Again, I would lay off of it. I think you do have maybe a buck to the downside, but that's about it. Nothing crazy. All right, let me know if you have any questions. I'm don't have much else. You're welcome. Try to call out things during the session. Select here, boom. This push up seems a little bit odd, in my opinion. Odd in the sense where, why do it now?
Be right back.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be demo. If you guys have mics, you guys can always jump on and talk. You guys don't have to be quiet or anything. I don't, because of my time frame, I don't really have like a shit ton to say, like Fat Cat does. It's an imbalance to the high side right now.
That cat's been typing lately. It's been weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just all commentary. Like, not commentary, I don't know what the fuck, just typing.
He's doing it now.
I don't know if he's got something going on in the background or what. He's been listening to music at full fucking volume. I don't know how that would help his concentration.
No food. A lot of selling, not a lot accomplished. But we do have an imbalance to the high side. All right, best of luck, everybody. Did not trade at all from 39.30 to 39.75. We have an imbalance to the up and downside right now. The current low is true. Buyers are really pushing it, getting nothing, absolutely nothing done. This looks like a short, but I won't take it. Yep, they keep buying it, and the sellers keep absorbing it. But the sellers are not taking control. Very low volume, as in differential volume. That's an imbalance to the low side. This could release. Let me see.
When you say release, elaborate.
Release to the upside if say that if the sellers, okay, so right now they're mainly just absorbing and all the buyers, and they kind of disappeared, but the buyers aren't not really pushing this, even though it's going lower, it's not exactly going like to what we think. So if the buyers don't step in and start pushing this because they've absorbed so much, This could release back up to 2850 at the very least, but they're pushing it now. They're dissipating. Yep, they're gone. Well, not completely gone. But let's see if the buyers will take over. If they don't, then the sellers will continue, but they need to get liquidity. Those are slowly disappearing. But let's see if they're not completely gone. Good push. That's a fake low. Good push down. Don't sell it just yet. This still could potentially come back up. This might have a quick push down first before it comes back up. Imbalance to the downside. Right. So we could push this up to maybe 2050. It's like Berkshire's hit the low of the day. If Berkshire actually continues, we can see more downside in ES. I'll keep an eye on that. Berkshire's really pushing it hard though. I'll probably drag everything with it if it does. So keep your eye on that. Sure, still holding. Kind of slowing down, but they're selling off a lot of the transports right now. If it gets up to like 21 or so, you can potentially see a short there since they're selling off transports. But if you do, you're only looking for about 9 points or so, maybe a little tad bit more.
This is not A+.
No, it's not. If Google actually makes the low of the day, this shit's gonna roll over. Every fucking thing's gonna roll over. Don't long. Watch Google. Watch Berkshire.
Is that low of pre-market or low?
Low of regular session.
So like we got to get down to 90, 93? Is that what you're suggesting?
I flagged it. It is
Look, if you don't
95.02.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, way down there, not pre-market or.
No.
Right.
Okay. Google's pushing up.
Long or short, Dima. It's just not A+ right now. Sorry. Was leaning long there for a minute, and then
Sorry, Dad, say something. Apple's holding slow today. See what it does there. Tesla's not. Yeah, yeah, we're up on the top. Not bad. Google just made a new high of the day. But it's see if it can get above London's open at 95.90. That would be a good tell sign. If it does not, we could have more downside to this. Again, still 30.95 is pretty much the line in the sand. Uh, that or 91.50, but pretty much line in the sand. That's another imbalance to the low side, but that doesn't mean we're taking it. Just observations. Still looking for this to get up to 21 or 2050, 21. 2 ticks off. Let's see what it does. Bonds just holding, doing nothing. Dollar index could not go above its initial high. So this could, let's see how this sets up. You know, it just for those of you guys who know, we just bounced off the major level. We did talk about pre-market about how if it bounces off major level, we could go along there. I just missed my entry. Seller stepping in. See if we can get a push up before we can for anything. Still imbalanced on the low side. Seller stepped in, didn't do much. Google made higher highs. Still making higher highs. Apple's just holding. No sellers, no buyers. It's very stagnant right now, despite what happened. The last, is it 3, 4 points has been just absolutely no decision. Which is why we gotta look at other things. Amazon had a really good bounce. There goes your 21 right there. I'm not selling this. See much going on. Scenario 3912 would have been a great buy, but missed it. You're buying before you're selling them. New highs in Google. Apple's coming back up to the open of the week. Berkshire Hathaway is just consolidating, doing nothing, but they did come off their lows. Crude just bounced off its daily active level. Potential good buy there. Missed the entry, but about to hit its major level at 80.62. Sellers are stepping in, buyers are kind of falling off on on crude for now. Just hit the yearly open and the month open. Not a lot of volume here. Sellers stepped in, didn't really accomplish too much. Sellers disappearing right now. Google seems like the one thing that's keeping all this up. Buy them before you sell them. Selling off. Yes, that was a good test to 21 again, which is a major level. But the buyers need to step up because they're slowly stepping up right now. Dollar index just made a swing low. Good buying. Anyone get long? Oh, Dima, nice. 16.25. Good price. Very nice. Yeah, you should have those major levels, like I missed it too. You know, I think I was too distracted actually. But yeah, I missed it too. I think for me, the optimal entry based on my style. Uh, I don't know, man. That moved fast. probably be like 1775 or something. Yeah, that moved fast. I don't think I would have gotten it, to be honest. I mean, as much as I would love to, but I don't. I think it moved too fast for me. A lot of buyers stepped in right now, but they're slowly dropping off. Like they just could not push the price high enough, and sellers are just absorbing the whole entire way. So be careful if you're long. Good job, Peter, for that long. But a lot of absorption. I think buyers are stepping, or sellers are stepping in right now. So if you're long, consider taking off some. If you're long 4, take off at least, I don't know, 1 or 2 here. We easily could be coming down to 25 and then bouncing. But we also could have just gone all the way back. I was stalking it, but I just couldn't get it long there. I think it just moved too fast. Sorry, I was talking to other chat. They were saying, did we get long there? And I said it just moved way too fucking fast.
Are you talking about like at the 12s? Or
Yes.
just now?
No, at the
You
12.
didn't get a single long off on this?
No.
Or
It
did
just
I?
it moved way too fast at my number that, pre-market was talking about.
I kind of fucking blinked. I looked over another chart. I came back and I was like, what the fuck? Did it hit the 12s? I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I was chasing.
Exactly. So
I was
that's what I'm
like, what the
saying.
fuck? Cocksucker.
Um, I got long with crude though. Yes, Chia. I don't know if you missed it, but yeah, you shouldn't be trading like were you here, Chia, pre-market or anyone?
I was listening,
Yeah.
Zero.
Hey, what's up, Retro? So yeah, like the first time I said I was looking for a buy at 39.12, 39.06, and then 38.95 or so, right? Between 38.95 and 38.98. I was willing to take multiple stabs at the long. And I only want to take one short, which is 43 to 45. Um, so I guess, sucks to be right that you can't be in, but whatever. Fuck this market. This market sucks.
No, I wouldn't feel bad about it, like, because, like, it was coming down and I was actually kind of looking for lower. At the
Well, I
same
mean,
time, like, when it hit the 12, I was like, huh, that's not really it. And then,
yeah, I didn't think it was it either, but I was still looking at to buy, like, and I
oh,
thought it
for
was going to
sure.
retrace a little bit, but it didn't. And I was like, oh, Are we gonna consolidate a little bit? Nope. Ah, fuck you guys. Ah,
Really good at its job.
right?
Fucking me around.
Zero,
That's just it's brilliant.
the
What? Sorry.
39, the 3912 level,
Yeah,
is that a major level?
it
Yeah.
is.
I feel like I
There's so
missed
many
it.
trades off of that in the last couple, like testing from the downside. This was testing from the top
Yeah.
side.
I guess I
it was,
didn't have it.
yeah.
Call Red Pie. There's a housing news.
Google just bounced off down from, let me see this.
No, you don't have it listed. Am I like not?
Are you
Did you make
updated?
changes? Wait, did you make changes?
I think I'm certain it's there. 3912. What the hell?
Ads. No.
Why is it
Oh,
not
you
there?
took it off. Look at that.
Ah, fuck. Why is it off? It
I mean, I
shouldn't be
had it
off.
marked
That-
for like a different reason, but
yeah.
okay, so
Sorry
it's
about
back
that.
on.
That should not be off. That's on. Sorry.
The
Think I'm lazy.
4101.
Think I'm lazy
4101 is
at
off, right?
updating my charts.
Sorry, that I should apologize for that. That's my
Oh,
bad.
you're good.
I don't know why that's off. Fuck. I need to hire a
It was-
secretary. I actually thought about hiring a secretary. My wife said no.
Can't you double end your wife's secretary?
Secretary? What do you need?
My wife makes a lot of money.
That's why
He's
she has a
living off of
secretary.
her.
So why can't her secretary do twice as much work?
Oh, she does have, dude, she has like 200 people under her, man.
Exactly. So let's just take one of them.
I don't think that's how business works.
It's exactly how business works. You're so
It-
mistaken. It's not funny.
It's just a guess how companies work, but I'm not sure. You could be right, Harvey.
So, okay, I have a story. So, obviously I worked in corporate and all that stuff. So, at these companies, women really don't get to senior positions because, they have babies or whatever. But this, like, female, they always have, like, a female leadership group or whatever bullshit group. And this woman who was, like, a senior partner or whatever was like, here's how you do it, ladies. You have your admin, your secretary, be best friends with your husband's admin and secretary wherever they're working, and have the two of them coordinate all the plans.
Wow.
This is her advice. So basically, you can just, make those relationships happen.
It's next level shit right there.
But they would coordinate calendars because they were both like high profile people, right? And they can't talk among themselves ever. So they need their admins to be BFFs and coordinate calendars and all of that. Social gatherings, like all of that goes through the admins. So that was her advice to
That's
us.
some evil genius shit right there.
I mean, it's actually like, it makes sense. This woman also said that you can have babies, it's fine. All you have to do is what she did, which was when she was traveling, she would pump and FedEx her breast milk back home.
The fuck?
Yes, like she was dead serious.
I mean, that's
And
cool that she's dedicated to both. Wow.
sure, I mean, these are solutions, right, that I've not heard before. So,
Good on
then at
her.
other times, she would fly the nanny and the child with her, wherever she was going.
A lot of
That's how
people
you
have
make it
that.
work. That's how you make it work, guys. And girls, if any.
A lot of
females
people
are
have
listening.
nannies these days. My wife.
Yeah, but to fly them around is
Oh, that's normal in Asia. Like when you go on trips, you take your nanny. Like
It's like-
everything.
everywhere. Because like here it's just, exceptional. Like, people
Yeah,
do take
right.
them out to the Hamptons or whatever, like, and they'll spend the whole summer out there. And every now and then they'll take them on trips, but it's kind of like, it's not the norm.
Oh, in
It
Asia,
is
it's
the
like
norm.
you go to, let's just say you go to Japan, you have to take your nanny because you want to enjoy your vacation. And if
Yeah.
these people are rich, but fuck, I was like, what? So you got to pay for everything? So what if you just,
You
like,
know,
most of
double.
them sit first class? Like, what? Fuck
The
that.
nannies?
Yeah.
Damn, I want a job. Give me that job.
Oh no. Trust me, you don't. They're treated like,
No, they're
no
totally treated
joke,
like
like
that. Yeah.
slaves, modern day
Oh my
slaves.
God.
It's like I've asked some of them like, oh, so where do they sleep? Some of them sleep like in the kitchen.
What?
Yeah, just roll out a bed, and and the better ones, like, that I guess can afford a helper room. It's
Yeah.
it's like slightly bigger than the size of a coffin, and you just lay there. It is fucked up, honestly.
Oh my God. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, they can't afford to give them a room.
Well, space is just so expensive, right?
That's
Yeah, it's
Japan.
tight. Yeah.
Or a lot of places.
Right, right. They have multiple nannies too, like night shift, day shift.
My
One for
Okay, this is
one
this is
for
an
each kid.
extreme. Yes, so they have one for each kid, and that's fairly
Yeah,
normal. Okay.
I've seen that
Um,
here. Yeah.
but this is an extreme case. My wife's One of my wife's best friends, are really, really good friends. Um, One that I went on the yacht with, and blah blah. And I was joking with him, like, how come your yacht's so small? It has like three fucking rooms, a karaoke room. There's like
What?
five servants on there. Um, and it's an older yacht, quote unquote, air quotes, because they're buying a new one. And
Right, of course.
trust me, it looks badass. It's like huge. It's probably like 5 times bigger than my goddamn apartment, if not more.
Right.
Um Anyways, so
Joe,
yeah.
the walk-in closet's bigger than your fucking apartment, so don't even.
Oh, true, facts. So she has 5 mates for herself. She has no kids.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, that's
One mate just
like
to wipe her body. I'm
no.
not joking. No jokes. Because she asked, she goes, "Do you think that's extreme?" And then most, even rich people in Hong Kong, are like, "Yeah." And she looked at me, I'm like, "Dude, you don't want me to answer that question. Like, seriously? I mean, I have no problems wiping my own body, but what the fuck? 5 mates for
Do
what?
I want somebody dedicated for my hair? That I actually think is reasonable.
I My hair is short.
Just
I don't
just
know what you're
just
talking about.
hair stuff. Like I just need somebody else to do this. It's like not. It takes too much time.
A lot of volume here. Um, all right, so damn, totally missed this trade. Anyways, yeah, I mean, these fuckers are just insane. Oh, so no joke. We're moving places, right? So today I went to go move some stuff, and then I got out. You can rent a moving service, whatever. Which
Yeah.
I'm fairly American, self-sufficient. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want someone to move my shit. I can move my own goddamn shit. I just need to use their car. Um, no. Well, my wife's her shit. I moved in my shit half a day, which was a backpack, a golf bag, and a luggage. That was it. Of course, a screen and stuff. Anyways, so watch 40-25 first, guys. There we could have a bounce there, but I expect us to fully get to at least 43.75. Anyways, so today, as I was moving it, out of the van that we rented, um, there was a helper outside with like a shit ton of bags, and then she's like, oh, she was asking the van guys like, oh, can you take me here? I'll pay. And then the guy said no because it's across the harbor, blah blah. Anyways, I was like, oh, she's been moving a lot. And moving a lot of shit throughout the day. So I walked out there and I was smoking. And I was just asking, like, "Oh, do you live here?" She goes, "Oh, I live up there." Blah blah. I was like, "Oh, you're moving?" And she goes, "Yes. I got terminated." So literally, the fucking person terminated her shit, kicked her out, told her to move all her shit, didn't provide any kind of transportation, nothing. Just
Oh,
get the
wow.
fuck out. I was like, wow, this is fucked up shit. It's insane.
They just kick you out like that, like immediately?
I'm sure they told her like a
30
day
day
or two
notice?
ago.
Oh my
I
God.
Well, okay, in all fairness, if I was gonna fire you, I'll pay you, but you need to get out right now. Because I don't want you fucking with
Yeah.
my shit. You know, it's the same thing like when you get fired from a job or let go, right? They
Look,
want you
two
out
weeks
immediately.
notice. I mean, they take, I mean, I think it depends on the type of firing, but it's like, courteous 2 week, maybe not. I
Yeah,
don't know.
so no, 2 weeks notice is if you quit.
Yeah,
But
that's
if they,
true. You're right, you're right.
yeah, if they fire you, you're just out the door.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then they'll pay you your severance. But
Yeah.
there's no way in hell they want you there stealing company information or anything like that.
Right, right.
So yeah, they kicked her ass out. I was like, oh shit. I don't even know if she's still out there, but that's sad. It's cold.
It is pretty cold.
Um, if you're long crewed, and depending on how long you're holding it, you can get up to, because I'm long crewed. Where's my goddamn levels? You can take this up pretty far to 9056. Actually, sorry. 85. Yeah, 8533. Yeah, my wife's pretty pissed about layoff shit too, because like she had to fire a bunch of people, and then one of her subordinates came. It's not even her subordinate; it's her subordinate. Came and bitched and said that she wanted a raise, and
Oh
then
my God, while everybody's getting fired?
yeah, and then she goes, and my wife's really soft, and she goes, normally she'd be like, oh, well, we're going through blah blah. My wife just goes, if maybe you're not suitable for this company, maybe you need to leave. Maybe this company is too big for you. Maybe you need something a little bit flatter.
Oh
Um,
my God.
and my wife like loves her, and it's like she thought that she was like, uh, you know, I guess loyal. And then she
Right.
goes, yeah. So she's like, maybe you need to go. And I was like, good job, babe. Like that's like they've gone 40% raises year over year for the last like 4 or 3 years.
40%? That's
Yeah,
insane.
yeah. When shit's good, and shit was really, really good, even
Right,
during the pandemic,
right.
dude, yeah, they give all that stuff. I was like, wow, you guys are
That's a
cutthroat.
lot.
Yeah. Nat gas is quite interesting right now. It's looking like it wants to possibly bottom here. I think it still could get up a little bit more. We have a major low at 3.371. So we'll see what that does. Um that's actually causing crude to come down a little bit. Um Gold is slightly exhausting. So here's the thing. The risk spreads are still very much positive. Dollar index against the bonds or against ES is fairly stable, but slight positive. The VIX are down, so I don't see a reason why this should be anything of an entire sell. I don't think that's the case. So if you're long, I probably would still hold. I'll probably hold up to at least 40.25, which happens to be yesterday's high, I believe. Yep. 3% raise, Chia, is more supposedly a standard raise because it's in line with inflation. If you're
Yeah.
good, you're supposed to get like 4 to 5. These fuckers are asking for like fucking 30 or 40%.
It's
She
just
got
like
40%.
ridiculous. That
yeah.
is like an insane amount of money. That's not even bonus. That's a base salary increase.
Yep.
That's massive.
Yeah. And I told my wife, I was like, you got like, this is years ago. I was like, 40%. I was like, dude, seriously? Like, people need to switch jobs to even get 20%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and I told him, I was like, you guys are going to be spoiled up the ass. Like, I don't know how
You
you guys
can't,
want
it's
to do
not even sustainable. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, you can't sustain that. I don't know how they were just like, were they having a hard time retaining people and that's why they had to give so much money? Like, I don't understand.
I think during that time, tech companies like just threw money at people just to, I guess you can say, retain people.
Oh.
You know, pretty
Were they
insane.
like working their asses off?
Yeah, they were, and they still are. I mean, it's a
Oh,
tough job, but
right.
It's
you
the if you think about it, it's the gangster's mentality. It doesn't really matter how much you pay the people if you making like let's just say you're giving a guy a 40% increase. If that guy made you 340% profit, what the fuck
Right.
do you care?
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. It doesn't matter how much I sell the shit for it. It all matters how much I buy it for. Right?
hmm
Yeah.
Oh,
true.
clearly that worked for the time. Now we have to let all those fuckers go. It's the big layoff that he's talking about, right?
Oh, people are ungrateful. This can get as low as 27.75, I think,
Big money.
but not sure. This is a fairly big sell-off there. Really big sell-off on crude. I don't think if you're looking for a crude trade, I don't think it's there just yet. I think you gotta wait just a tad. Those are some real highs in ES. So those are not giving up just yet. And so Sellers are tapering off in ES. But this is not an area I really want to get involved. Good pullback. Off to the races. Another break even in crude. Oh, half the R. Cards are slowly dissipating. So let's see if they can kick it up a notch. Yeah, Harvey, a bunch of traps and fake outs. Not surprised. There it goes. Um, Not yet. I was looking at 3150, but I don't think it's there yet. Sellers are kind of disappearing now. Off half. Aiming for 43, 40. I'll put a flag at 40, just, just kind of watch it. Uh, LNG starting to make some waves. Holy missed the re-entry in crude. Watch how it reacts to 4025. If you're long, just watch that. I'm long. Oh fuck! It's so hard to handle so many accounts. It's fucking bullshit. See what it does. Does it back off or anything like that? Let's just watch this. I know a lot of sellers that I see. Let's see. I'll take one off now. Anyone long? Anyone look at the 4025?
I was long from yesterday, but I'm closing. These were options.
We might get
Close
up to
out
4550 retro.
Yeah, we might, but
Yeah, it's good enough.
I need to take my money and just not
I hear you.
watch this thing forever.
Not a lot of sellers actually. They're kind of slowly disappearing.
And we do have this like tiny gap above to fill, which I might try and do. But it
Yeah.
doesn't have to.
4375 is what I have. But I think
43. Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
Have you heard of doodles? What the hell is a doodle?
What?
Apparently it was like I'm texting my friend because he had Netflix and it's finally back from the dead. Then we were talking about crypto and he's like, my crypto's green again. And he's like, I actually flipped a doodle and doubled my ether a while back.
I don't know what
And I'm like, what the
is.
fuck is a doodle? He's like, it's some NFT,
Oh God.
but he flipped it.
I'm surprised he actually does that.
I don't even know how he got into that.
Uh,
I don't know who told him, because he's not like a trader. Like he's an entertainment lawyer.
right.
So I don't know how he got this info.
I actually been saying NFT is the dumbest shit in the world with the current NFT.
Yeah, so Vanity Fair actually wrote an article about it. I have to read it, but because like the whole art world, like Sotheby's and all of them were, all into it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to read the article, but the fact that Vanity Fair actually wrote like some piece about it and how it failed, not that we're surprised by it.
Some people are really surprised by it. They're like so gung ho about it.
I just think it's like whenever there's new technology, people fuck it up because they don't understand it, and it's just like idiots that running to the gate and try to like do something with it. But these are like not the smartest people, right? So it's always like the second phase or the third phase where after all the shit is bottomed and taken out is where you really get the resurgence. So I want to see what the article has to say, but I'm not saying there isn't room for it even in like the high-end art world. I just don't think it was what we experienced the last couple of years. Like maybe it needs to be evaluated, obviously. And I do believe in technology, and I do think like technology advances, cultures and people. I don't knock it. I just don't think this is it.
I think it's great. I just think that it's a good concept and it's good. There's applications for it, just not what they were using it for. Fucking dumbass apes and
Yeah.
you know. I could also be just a hater. I didn't get
Well,
into
I
it.
mean, if you think about art, art really, like over the centuries, it really depicts the current times, right? It's a historical reflection of the times. And you have different art forms and different media that have emerged, and that also speaks to the times and the technology of that era. So, in that respect, NFT is that. It still is a capsule of what's happening here. But it's not
That's
a
a very
fucking
good
board.
point.
It's not a fucking bored ape, although it is
Yeah.
still speaks to the culture that exists where it's all this nonsense and all this money and value being thrown at things that really shouldn't be valued. And what does that say about our society? Like, probably not anything good. But I still think there are ways to encapsulate what's happening in the times today via technology, via NFTs that will be looked upon in, say, 50 to 80 years from now. And be like, oh, yeah, this was like a great capsule collection of this era, or this artist really captured whatever. Like say it's like a joke on woke culture. Like I could see that being like an amazing collection via NFTs or whatever. That's how you appreciate art, right? So I just don't think we have gotten there. It's
I
so
think
early.
it's a great, like you said, that's a really good point. I just feel like they got carried away with it and it was a necessary evil for them to fuck shit up,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
to kind of get rid of the looser ones, I guess you can say.
Yeah, just like you always have, even when like .com came to be, like I remember where it was just like such a buzz, like everybody wanted to do a .com company, and like it was just like I was like, I don't understand this. I'm like, what is this? This is stupid. Like this doesn't make any sense. But everybody was rushing to the gate to do it. I mean, that's like the only technology that we can remember from our lifetime. And I know some
That's
people can't even.
that's a good
They
point
were
because
bored.
I told my wife that I was like, everybody and their mother was worth,
Yeah.
their company was worth, you know, hundreds and hundreds of million. Unlike
Right.
today, where it's like, oh, every company you can name is like worth 1 billion. Oh, this is a unicorn. This is a unicorn. That's a unicorn. It's like, dude, if everyone's a unicorn, darn,
Then,
you're not a
where's the
unicorn.
real value?
Yeah.
Where's the real value? But that's even what happened in the last couple of years in the private equity market. Like it was just, there are unicorns and unicorns all over the place. And I remember, like, even in the industries that I was familiar with, I was like, this is not like a sustainable business model. This is not really a unicorn. And it's just like, there's just so much money to throw around. And obviously, this bubble, and it just inflated all the valuations. Now, like, you're looking at all these unicorns that are like, have been decimated. Like, slowly but surely, it's like, oh, there's like 10 unicorns that were like the darling of the retail industry, and they're like all gone. Like, some of them were supposed to do IPOs. They're not even doing IPOs. They're like, get our business model together. But it is just like it's a business cycle, and these things happen over and over. It's like times don't change, people don't change. I mean, the players change, and the technology changes, and the names change, but it's all like the same theme over and over.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're seeing it in NFTs, we're seeing it in crypto, and we're going to see it in AI, like where you have all the
Companies
chat
just
GPT and Midjourney with all the art generated AI, which I actually think is phenomenal. I don't think we know what to do with it yet. We're not there.
I have that. It's not the same, or fuck, what is it called? I thought it was OpenAI.
OpenAI is ChatGPT and DALL-E, but like Midjourney is a different one for
Yes, Dolly.
art.
Oh, it's called Midjourney.
Midjourney is a different company.
Oh, okay.
DALL-E is one, that's OpenAI.
hmm
Then you have Midjourney, which is
Oh,
totally
yeah.
separate. And I actually like Midjourney better. I've been like playing around with it.
Is it free?
It's free. Like, I think you get 25 queries to do it.
Oh, okay.
And then even if you pay, it's like dollars a month, something ridiculous. It's super cheap. But I actually think like there's going to be, all it is like when Google and search came to be, that was like to make your life easier, right? It's not like you were cheating necessarily on homework or schoolwork. It was just it's a better way to search rather than going through books in a library, right?
Yeah.
Now, ChatGPT is another evolution of search, and AI art is another evolution of art. So if you're a photographer or if you're an artist or whatever, you can use mixed media in your art. People do that all the time. It's like it's been done throughout the centuries. So this is not anything new. I think people are like really scared because they're like, well, what's this going to do? Is it going to take away jobs? And I'm like, it might eliminate some jobs for sure, but if you're not evolving with the times, like you're going to be left behind. So
Yeah.
either you evolve or you have to evolve. You have to. It's like, how do you not evolve as a human? I mean, people don't, but
There's a lot of people that don't evolve.
I know, and it's like hard to, I don't know, understand. I mean, I get it. People don't want to, and some people don't care. But I think if you're in this space, you should be learning this technology and using it and thinking about new ways. I mean, all it is bringing opportunities to people that didn't have it before also.
Sure. Do you know anyone who is in this AI space?
So like my friend is doing movies through, how there's like animation that you can use for movies?
Mm-hmm.
There's a program, what the hell is it called? I forget what it's called. I have to go look it up. He's a very creative person. He's like very corporate. Like he worked at BCG, did all of that consulting work. He's always been a creative at heart. Like he's like into film, but he's very tech focused too.
Mhm.
So I know he's dabbling in it. I don't know what he's coming up with, but he's playing around with it. I've been telling people about it because, like, I can see it for branding and
How would they use AI for branding? Oh, you mean strictly like market stuff?
design.
Oh, design. Okay.
Yeah. So all the
Interesting.
AI generated art is design work.
Right, right,
Do you
right.
know how much faster it is to do it that way? Because I've worked with traditional design agencies, like whenever we have to do like branding and stuff, and it's like it takes months to get that work done. Months. AI that can generate it, I mean, you have to learn the commands, fine, but once you learn the commands, like it is so efficient. Sure. Is it going to eliminate jobs? Yeah, it probably will eliminate jobs, but it's also going to create efficiencies because when I had to pay for branding work, like those projects, all inclusive, like the bells and whistles, were about 100 grand.
Hmm.
And these are big companies that have big budgets, so you pay that kind of money. But I would also like try to do projects that were just like 40K or 50K, but that's a lot of money, right? And think
Yeah.
about it from like efficiency point of view, and all of that money gets passed on to the consumer, right? Because it goes back into the pricing of the product, all of it. Um, just there are efficiencies there, but it's going to take time for people to adapt and learn. You have to. I just think you have to. I don't think you could just say like, oh, this is infringement on copyright, and artists aren't getting their, like we're stealing art and all of that. It's like we had this problem with music, whatever, like 15 years ago, and we solved it.
Hmm.
We're
I
going to
want
figure this out.
it's crazy because there's so much new technology, but we're in such a weird economic space that I don't know
Yeah.
how that would plan out.
Well, okay, think about it this way. Whenever we do go into recession, there's
Yes.
always technology or some sort of revolution that takes us out of it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I have said this like to a bunch of people. Like I really think AI is going to lead that. I don't know how. I don't know what it looks like. But just even like coming out of the 2008 financial crisis, like what took us out of there? It was like, Facebook is like started years before that, but all those social media companies, like Amazon, all of these like internet companies that were actually able to do flourish in the .com space and e-commerce is really what took us out of there, right? Because that's when, like, I mean, think about all of the valuations and who were the mega caps after 2008. It wasn't like your consumer staples and it wasn't your banks anymore.
Hmm.
Like all those things got decimated. Where the valuation went was with tech, and it lasted for 10 years, right? And now we're seeing like another shuffle where it's like, okay, either these legacy tech companies need to adapt new technology to stay relevant, or new entrants are going to enter the space, right, and take over. I mean, there's
It's a
going to be a
very
mix of
good
that, but
observation, actually.
well, you see, but like Microsoft is making an investment in ChatGPT. Right? Like their search engine sucks, but and they overtake Google in the next 5 years, maybe if they have the technology, right? If you
That's a
think about it, like
huge, like, I want to, that investment was huge.
huge. And to get that evaluation in this environment, I was like, people are willing to pay for it. That is massive.
You know,
It's massive. You don't just throw
there's a
money like
massive
these
user
people.
base already, though.
Yes, that's what I mean. And it's all of like our people, like the ones that are in Discord. Like we're all tech savvy. It doesn't matter what our age is, but it's more of like a mindset. It's
Hmm.
like we want technology, we seek it, and boomers are gonna die out, like they just are. So who's gonna be left behind? It's like the new generation. It's the Zoomers and all those kids. Um, But yeah, no, I was just really, really surprised at the valuation that Chat GPT was even getting. Because I'm like, you just don't get that in this
I don't
environment.
think
Like, you
I'm
don't.
not that surprised because I mean if you actually think about it, right? Like uh we actually in many ways like not only is it great, technology, but
Right.
also there's so many users, there's so much buzz about it already.
Oh, true.
So I was like, oh,
The
I'm
buzz
not
is
that
huge.
yeah. And still it's still a big deal to like, I guess you can say, um, you know, everything's about the user base, right?
Right. It's always about the user base.
You know.
See, it's the adaptation of technology. So if like people have already adapted to it, so many people have. I actually don't know how many users they have. I probably look it up. The fact that there's so much adaptation
hmm
beyond, that's huge. That's massive because that's always the hardest thing. It's like you have great technology and but nobody wants to use it.
Yeah.
And
But that
then
no, I mean everyone and their mother knows about it. Like uh
literally
my
everybody.
yeah, my wife's mom was asking about it because they can't get it here. It's blocked in Asia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I have VPN and stuff like that. So I was like, ah. And I was playing around with it. I was like, dude, this is pretty fucking awesome.
And I played around and I'm like, this is really good. It's really, really good.
I would say
Yeah.
Chat GBT it was a little bit of a letdown. I was like, what? Because I would tell them to trade code something in TradingView and they would code it out and it was amazing watching them code it, but actually copying and pasting it into it, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard it's like there's limitations to it.
Yeah.
Um, now, have you
Unfortunately.
seen like a couple of people are posting like either on Twitter, like, oh, I created this algo and returned like whatever percent from.
Yes, I saw that. I was like, oh, you guys are
I'm
lying to
like,
people.
I know, I'm like, here we go.
Yeah.
There's the next wave of furus.
Yep. That's all they have to do is just say, hey, plug this in.
This
It's
in,
not
and
gonna work.
there you go. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
This guy
I was
was
actually
like, I
really sad when
used,
I heard that. I was like, oh, that's just gonna cause a lot of shit.
I know. This one guy used like some fancy terminology where he was like, I use Python, I use blah, 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 and neural networks. Like, what the fuck?
What
And
networks? Neural networks?
neural, like
Like,
neuron, but like
yeah,
with an L, neural.
interesting.
But I don't even know what that is, but
No, but like, so I put into GPT and then I actually had to go in and fix the variables, fix things. I was like, oh, this is, kind of a letdown.
does it not speed
It
up the
doesn't,
process though?
no, it's
No.
like they'll use stuff. I think because PineScript is so close to Python that they just start
Oh,
using Python built-in functions, which just didn't work.
right. They kind of meshing it up.
Right.
So,
Let's see what guys are doing. Oh, I'll be right back. Um, let me grab some water. Be right back. Oh man, you need a code that's the evolve. I'm not
well,
sure.
I think we've been coding. I think coding's been happening for like years and years. I think it's a continuation. Yeah, I agree. Learning to code is very valuable.
Hey guys, I'll be back in about 20 minutes or so. I'm still long ES, still looking for um I got profit stop in crude. Gonna get back in. I'm looking for 45.50. So I'll just put I'll sell 200 there. No, I'll sell 300 there.
That's all.
Oh, you weren't here yesterday.
What happened?
So whatever I say, so I'm long 900 lots right now. And when I say
Okay.
900 lots, just divide that by 100. So I'm long 900 lots right now. So I'm going to take 3 off, or 300.
300.
Yeah, at 45.50.
Okay.
All right, I'll be back. I need to go
Okay.
run to the store, buy something for the wife. I'm back.
Great, bye.
I entered twice, Chia, just really quick. Entered once at 32.75, and then I re-entered. And I took one off. I think it was at 38, something like that, and then I re-entered at 33.75. Sorry, yeah, 33.75. So first entry 32.75, and once it made the breakaway, it came back to have a good retest. I entered at 33.75. Everything's at break even right now, meaning original stop, but took off risk. So I'll be back. No, bro. No red pie. Divide.
Zero's maid is in the background, freaking out, hearing someone take 9,000 lots.
Dude, if I had a maid, she wouldn't be smart enough to know that shit because she's working for me.
Seriously.
I'll be back. All right, later.
So Red Pie, can you explain what GEX is?
Gex.
Yeah.
It's basically like charting out contracts for XPX, since XPX is such a big like hedge tool. And then you can use it to gauge where like the dealer wants the market to move, or they expect it to move like intraday.
That's different than Gamma.
No, Gamma is within Gex. So within Gex, you can see which contracts are like has the volume, where it's moving, and they will create like a gamma wall and whatnot, depending on like what type of data you're like capturing. So like with the rise of like 0DTs, like Gex is more useful in the sense that you can see if it's like if you can break like gamma walls or walls like from like the options. Like when there's like a gamma flip, they have to like go with the option or
Yeah.
like reinforce it or go against it.
Right. Like if you're long Gamma or short Gamma.
Yeah, so once they break the wall on there, they have to reinforce it, and depending on the time of day too, it basically like exponential like move of it. So that's why like some days you can see like end of day suddenly there's a big bump.
Right, right.
It's like in general a wall was violated, and then they held between the violation and higher, and that like naturally pulls up into the higher range because they have to like hedge against it.
Yeah, so okay, so GEX tells you which contracts have
Yeah, so
heavier
it's
weighted.
yeah, so you don't you can do it by eye in a sense by looking at OI and volume and see the change. There's also another approach where you can look at it depends on your platform. You can look at tools of like contracts picked up or contracts sold. What you can so like it changes throughout the day. It's dynamic, right? It's not like it's here, then it stays there. Just because the sheer volumes of like 0DTE is like getting to the point where it might outstrip like weeklies or monthlies, because that's what we used to base it on, right? But
Right.
weekly and
Now
monthlies
it's
have like
zeros.
less weight now. But like if it's a month, if it's like a OPEC expiry, that's like really good because like once it violates that, then like it moves really hard.
Today.
Yeah, because in general, if you look, every time there's OPEX, it sets the new trend. Like you can go back and chart it on like ES charts daily. You'll see it.
Oh, interesting. Well, yeah, because usually it's a release of hedges, right? And if those hedges don't get put back, or if they do, it can change kind of trend.
Yeah, like that's the use of it and stuff like that. It's kind of hard though because like some people don't believe in options or like the underlying mechanics. So it sounds like kind of like woo woo when you like try to explain it.
Right.
It's like telling people, you know, the guy that sold you that call, he doesn't want that call in the money, or she, or dinosaur, whatever that sold you that call,
Right.
doesn't want that call in the money by expiry. So guess what what that entity is gonna do? From their hedge themselves, it's gonna move the markets in the opposite direction.
Right.
Yeah.
So saying all that, are we going to get to the 4,000 then by the end of the day? To fuck them all around?
I don't know. I just literally came back down and made that zero joke after hearing that. I took Google in the morning, so I did well, and I just like went to go like shower and eat.
Yeah, no. The implied volatility of the options, aren't they the majority of the long calls and puts? Are they both more wrong at around 4,000?
There are like psych walls, like some positioning likes to take it there.
Oh, it's not about that. It's not about that it's 4,000. It just happens to be the implied volatility of this week.
Yeah, that's where like they put walls at psych levels too. Like you can see the contracts themselves. Like people gravitates towards it.
But I think, Harvey, the IV, when you get levels through IV, that's a different calculation and a different metric than what we were just talking about, because we were talking about specifically gamma.
Okay,
These are,
yeah.
so you can use options in different ways to get the levels, to understand, you know, support, resistance, or
Well, I
whatever
think
walls.
one thing that a lot of people maybe underestimate is the amount of value in the options chain. Just because it's typically less, let's call it risk, or overhead, or margin, or capital, right? It's less. It seems like it's less.
Yes.
I think these guys hedge can like it matches. It's going to match. So the amount of options available, like I think there's a lot of money flowing around in the options chain. To kind of go with what you guys are saying, there's a lot more money than people think.
That's why the volatility, that's why you get such volatile days and
Right,
big
because
range
they're-
days, because
Exactly.
it's understated, because it's an option, right? You don't think
And
how much
I think it's the
power
same
there is.
idea as like any type of trading. Yeah, X guy wants to get rid of his calls, and it's about the speed of which he does it. And he's got a lot of calls. Like that's what I'm suggesting, is that there's a lot of money been out there. So he's got to get rid of a lot of them, and he has to do it very quickly.
So like a really fun example to think of was back in the day when Amazon was like $1,000, right?
Yeah.
Or like 3K or whatever.
Yeah.
For about $1,000, you can control 100 Amazon shares. That's what's basically how much leverage it is. That's insane.
It is crazy. It was very crazy. The fact like anybody can do it, like there aren't any restrictions.
There's a small questionnaire you have to pass. Come on.
What?
There's a small questionnaire you have to pass. Did you know like
I
IBKR has like the toughest questionnaire, and if you call them for help, they treat you like an idiot because they were like, "You passed the test. You don't know how to do this." Yeah.
I don't remember. I mean, I have an IBKR account. I don't recall. I mean, because I just go through it real fast. I'm like, yes, 10 years experience, 5 years experience.
Oh no, not that. Like they instituted a new test, like what is a butterfly, or like stuff like that.
Oh fuck! I would fail that. I would need ChatGPT.
They're like,
Open book test though.
I know it's open book.
Just type in what is a butterfly. You'll get 2
Even though
pictures. It'll
I'm
be one of a butterfly and one of the options.
one of the options, it still confuses me. That's why I don't do those options.
yeah, they're like, what is the
It's
notional
even
value?
needed. I don't care. I just need to know if it's gonna go up or down. Red Pie, I hate IBKR.
It looks disgusting, but the
I
tools they build
hate
into it,
it. I mean, I think you're right. Like they do have some nice tools. It's just like I didn't like using it. Like,
like I trade options with my friends, and like we were like, okay, you can mark it in and get a better fill than me, like manually filling. Like if there's a lot of like Momo,
yeah,
yeah,
you get a better
IBK has some
feel.
kind of weird like AI entry tool. Like it has a really good fill.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It was like some dynamic thing. It was like too confusing. I'm like, this is like too many things going on. Their desktop is like shit. I couldn't use the desktop at all. I had to use their mobile because I'm like, the desktop was so bad.
My friend said that he couldn't trade on his phone and have his desktop open at the same time.
What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah. So he's like, hold on, bro, I gotta relog in, and then that's his code. Like he's gonna go to the bathroom and try to trade it on his phone.
Jesus Christ. No, I could only use the phone, and then even then, it's not as easy as like TD Ameritrade on your mobile. Um, you had to learn it, and you had to like just, you know, click. You had to click too many screens actually, if I recall. Get into the trade.
You know the guy you linked, Chem Croissant?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a big fan of his work.
Really? Okay, so not. And I think he has a good understanding, so that's why I listen to him because he can explain these concepts better. I don't know this stuff, right? He knows this stuff. This is his area of expertise. However, he's the one that runs Squeeze Metrics. Is that right?
No, Squeeze Metrics is his friend, or
But
someone he
he's
knows.
still.
I don't think he runs Squeeze Metrics. I know he
He's
tried
like.
to.
Did you say, John?
I think they're separate people.
Yeah,
They're separate people, but I think it's like similar data that they look at, perhaps.
yeah. They're all in the vol space and like the option hedging space.
So here's the thing with, I think it's good to like just listen to them so you can understand concepts and all of that. It doesn't provide any trading knowledge, right? Like you're not going to trade off of anything he says because it's vague, it's broad strokes, it's like not like action oriented.
There was one time. I forgot. I think it was Unusual Whales hosted like a space or something, and a bunch of these fundamental guys are talking about like how they're gonna take puts because they projected a really bad like Fed report. And Chem was like, "No, you guys don't understand what's underlying right now. We're gonna get bad news. It's gonna look like it's a sell, but it's gonna skyrocket off the bottom." And I think that's the day that we had like bad news and we went up like 70 points or something like that. And then everyone who like wanted to go short got like absolutely clapped.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I don't think that guy makes money on a trading basis.
He does, but I don't think his firm makes a lot because he used to be, like XPX options and stuff like that. He used to be like the guy in the XPX space. Like he was like the XPX like dealer and like mover.
Okay.
Like I'm not saying like he's like a fanciful like unicorn, but his understanding of the space is really interesting. There was one chat where he had with this fundamentals guy called I forgot his name, but it blew his mind because he didn't understand how like liquidity would you change the market. And this guy kept on like this was before the sell off because Chem has been calling for it for like years, and he's saying like it's coming, and then like he actually started like giving like dates and stuff like Nostradamus style,
Oh.
and then like it blew the guy mind, the fundamentals guy's mind, and he went into like a depression for like the next couple podcasts and something. It was pretty funny.
Well, I don't really follow him that closely, but there's a bunch of guys I know that I do respect, and they're pretty smart. They don't like him. They don't like Squeeze Metrics, and they have like because I know Squeeze Metrics is behind like a paywall, and they did share like some of the reports that you get, and I was like, what the fuck is this? It's just like, I think that's a scam because it was all these like super fancy charts, all like filled with shit that I was like, who's using this? Like, just look at price action. Like, if all you did was look at price action, you would be far better than trying to decipher their fancy charts with bubbles and gradients. And I found it very
Oh yeah, for sure.
obnoxious. It was obnoxious. Like, I was like, you don't trade this way. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that was like prying on retail because I feel like you're going to get some edge by learning options hedging or whatever. I don't know.
Oh, so that's what I mean. Like, there's the funny thing is, Chem tried to release a tool to the public, like a reduced down version of what he uses at his firm, and he
Yeah.
said he couldn't release it because people were like idiots, and it will be clearly saying like "don't buy now" or like "don't long," and people are like, "This looks like it's telling me to long," and he's like, "What?" Because a lot of it's like it's not its interpretation. It's not like this is low, you buy. You have to use in context for like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But
That's the
like
thing. Like, you need like a lot of onboarding because it's like, what if it's
yeah,
not just this one data point? You have to put everything else in context. And if you don't have like the right understanding, then yeah, you're gonna fuck it up.
one of my friends is like really like into this space, and there's a service out there called Vexly.
Yeah.
So I asked him about it, and he was like, "Oh, okay. I always throw a couple bucks at it. I'll check it out." And he's like, he tells me, "Hey, look at my screen." And he's like, "You see all this?" He's extrapolating the data. It's being interpreted wrong. Then he's like, "Yeah, don't use the service," and he just like shuts off his stream.
Oh, my shit got hit. I only took off 300 off there though.
Oh yeah. Just 300.
Yo, if I was your maid, I'd beat myself. He's too rich to beat me.
Oh my god, stop.
It's gonna be a day that I'm gonna trade 1,000.
This
I've
is
done
the
1,000
day.
before. I've done 1,000 before.
Yeah, you could do it again.
No, that was the scariest fucking. I'm pretty sure I shit it myself. I mean, a legit 10. I shouldn't say 1,000. A legit 10, and it was an
Yeah, yeah.
NQ. It worked out.
Oh my
but
god. Okay,
yeah.
that's too much.
It was an NQ. It was a legit 10. No division needed, and fairly certain I shit myself.
What was your MAE?
I don't remember, but it didn't come back against me that much. I remember that I was like, I I forgot why I did it. I don't know if I was just stupid or what. I mean, obviously, but
I mean, it's the degen in all of us. We always do it.
facts, 100% facts. But yeah, I did it, and then it hit my mitigation mark, which is great. Then I was just rolling for free. And then and then you know, after I had to go to the bathroom, wipe myself up, I took it
I
off.
didn't have a maid to do that.
No. Imagine if you had a maid to wipe your ass. That'd be fucking amazing.
I mean, this is like the Gilded Era shit, because when I was in Newport and I was doing like the tours of the mansions, and they're like, those houses are just like houses that they live in for 6 weeks at a time. But they're like 3-story homes, and they only live, like, the family only lives on one floor. The floor above, which had like, okay, so the main floor only has like 4 or 5 bedrooms, and the floor above, their third floor, would have like 30 bedrooms because it's all of the servants that are living
Oh
there.
my god.
And they're like, as you tour the homes, like, okay, and this stairwell is only for the servants, right? And as you can see, it's closed off to the main house because nobody wants to see the servants running around.
Yeah.
And there were also like these small corridors that would lead into like the main bedrooms, like really tiny, like they're thin, like you can't really fit like a lot of people, maybe 2 thin people wide, the corridors, and like little rooms in there that look like closets. And this is where like the maid would hang out, and the maid would like fold laundry or collect laundry because she can't be doing her work in the main room, right? Like she can't be seen.
Right,
So
right.
they have to stay out of sight at all times.
Jesus.
And it was just like wild and it literally reminds me of that because like you're saying like the women would have to change their clothes like 7 times a day.
Why?
So they always had a chambermaid that helped them get dressed. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you're getting changed 7 times, you kind of need help, like picking out the outfits and all of that. But they were talking about how like they would have a breakfast outfit. Obviously for the different meals you have outfits, but you also have a bathing outfit. You also have an outfit to greet people. You have an outfit to go walking. It was
Wow.
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I was like, what the fuck? I mean, yeah, and then the only people that you see are like the footman and the butler. And so when you hired footman and butler, they were 6 feet tall because they needed to look good.
Mhm.
Because these are the people that you see all the time. So they were like literally hiring people based on looks.
I'm not sure if I would actually do that, truthfully speaking. Like,
Hire good
you know what I'm
looking people. Yeah, you don't
No,
hire
I
good
don't
looking help.
no, if I
You
no.
don't. That's causing problems. You know that. That's rule number 1. You do never
Not if
ever
she's a maid
hire
with a
never hire a
hot.
hot nanny or a hot maid under my roof ever.
Yeah, yeah,
That shit's
because you're a
not going
girl.
down.
Imagine you're hired a really hot like um
Butler?
driver.
Sure. Yeah, that
Driver.
you can do.
Yeah. See? Um
Yeah.
but I don't think I would do that. Like even if I was I'm not. If I was worth like I don't know, a couple hundred mil, I'm not sure if I will hire a maid.
Who's
Uh
gonna clean your house?
I'm a man. I'll clean it myself.
I mean, I already have a cleaning lady, and I don't even have money to be having.
Okay, so the bigger things, I'm cool with it. But like the day to day, like washing dishes, I don't think a nanny should do that because I want my kids to learn. I see how people
Yeah,
live
I
here, and
agree.
it
I
fucking pisses
agree.
me off. Um, like, so I went to that really expensive wedding, blah blah blah. And the discussion came about, and we're just talking to some of my friends, and they're like, yeah, we have X amount of maids, like not one, not two, but like more than two for some.
Several.
Yeah, and to a point where when they went to go to Australia to their vacation home during the pandemic, they took all their maids with them.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So, anyways, so the point is, I see how they are, and they were, to me, fucking rude, in a sense where they'll walk like the shit doesn't stink, and they'll walk and they'll just do whatever they want because at the end of the day,
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
is gonna pick up after them. And I
Right,
wasn't okay
right.
with that. So I was like, and I said it to their face, which I don't think my wife really cared or liked. I was like, I kind of want my kids to have manners and to pick up after themselves and shit. And
Yeah.
yeah, they're like, no, you want a maid. I was like, no, I don't. And then they asked like, how many maids do you have now? I said 0. Like, who cooks and who cleans? I said, I do. And they're like, your wife doesn't? I was like, no, she doesn't know. She's from Hong Kong. She doesn't know shit about that. And then they kind of weren't happy because I was talking shit, obviously.
Right, right.
I don't
Yeah, I mean,
care.
I think there's a balance. Like, honestly, like, I don't really want to be cleaning my apartment.
I
I don't.
don't either. I'm really doing it to like be a I don't know, kind of showing them that hey, this is possible, dickheads. You
Yes.
can
Yeah.
work 15 hours and do this. Now, I'm not the best cook or the best cleaner, but I still do
Mhm.
it.
I do think those are good values to show children. Like, if you have children in the home, and
Mhm.
like, obviously, like, you even see it in New York City. Like, the kids are so fucking spoiled. It is ridiculous, things
Oh
that
yeah.
go on. And it is disgusting because, like, these kids don't grow up with manners. They really don't. And they feel so entitled. It's nauseating because it's like, you could have easily raised them differently. And somehow, I don't know how families think that it's okay to not instill any home values or family values. It's weird and it's bizarre to me. Like,
Yeah.
my friend my friend's pretty wealthy. Like, her husband's like CFO of some company. They have a home in the Hamptons. They have a nice apartment here. Kids are in private school, all of that jazz. And she's like pretty humble and level-headed. Like, she's not like, they
Humble
have
beginnings.
amenities. Yeah, I mean, even not like, I mean, she did come from money, but she's not like, she's still teaching her kids values. Like,
Right.
they do have domestic help. They go to fancy school, they go to summer camps, all of that shit. However, she's a stay-at-home mom, first of all. And I think that makes a big difference, because then you can be more present. Even if you have help, you can still be more present and still, like, they don't take their help with them when they travel, for example, on
Mhm.
purpose, right? Um, she was telling me how, like, when she was like in Aspen and like the other family that they traveled with, like, that other child was like, oh, so did you bring your cook with you? Like, did you bring? And she's like my friend Sarah's like, okay, we need to like not hang out with these people. So
Yep.
like, there's a balance. Like, I'm not saying like you shouldn't have amenities. Like, if you have money, sure, make your life easier and whatever, because you worked hard. And her husband works his ass off. Like, he's not like, even if they did come for money, but he still works, right? He's still earning his keep. And so, sure, spend money to make your life easier, but don't go to like such extremes where your kids are going to grow up and be assholes, right? So it's like, you can find balance.
I know some that actually take their helpers to camp to go camping. And to me, that blew my mind. I was like, wow. Holy fucking shit.
What's the point of going camping then?
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking make my kids clean their own shit. Like they're like if they finish their food and they don't bring it to the whatever, I'm gonna, to the sink at the very least, right? If they're young. Just gonna pick it up and I'm gonna put it in their room. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm pretty uh into, having I don't know what it's called technically, technical, whatever, but just manners or just overall fucking responsibility.
Yeah, I think it's like awareness too, because you're going to interact with people that have less than you. It's like
Yeah, some of these people don't. Honestly
some of them
speaking.
don't, some of them don't. I mean, but you go to a restaurant, you interact. Like you go to a grocery store.
Oh, trust me, I've bitched at some of my friends here and my wife. I was like, dude, can you look everyone in the eye when you order your food? Because they'll just like not throw, but they'll just like place a menu, like not even gently, just on the table and continue their conversation with like look at their friend and then just order.
Right.
I was like,
Like they'll
the fuck?
toss the menu aside.
Yeah.
Like,
And I'm like,
yeah.
what the fuck is that? I'm like, did you
Yeah.
say thank you? And then, she's picking up on it. I'm like, and I told him, like, because she's a pretty big hotshot within her, firm. I was like, for me, the way a staff treats service people
Oh, yes.
tells me exactly who you are.
Huge, huge.
Yeah. It's
Dated
like, I
this
probably
guy.
wouldn't ever hire you or your friends.
Oh, they're not nice people.
They're not
So
assholes. They're just weird. It's
I just
just
think it's
not.
like, I don't know, like you should be aware of like other people and
No.
social cues, I think are really important, and how you socially interact with people, whether they have money or not have money. I think it's like says a lot about you as an individual.
Yeah.
Like I remember I dated this guy, like he had a lot of money. He was like one of the things that really stood out, and we even got into a fight over this. Like he was meeting me, we were going to a concert, and I was there before him, so I went to the bar and I just got a drink. A
Mhm.
bar that was not in the venue, like because we were gonna meet at the bar and then go to the venue. Anyway, it was like some divey bar, like not fancy or whatever.
I love that
So
verse.
yeah, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna get a drink and French fries. Like the bill was $20, like it was nothing.
Mhm.
And so he comes and he meets me. And I already had my card down. Like obviously, I'm gonna pay $20. I don't expect him to pay $20. But he was like, all right, I'll pay. Like let's pay. And we'll go. Meaning he's gonna pay. And I guess he couldn't get the server's attention.
Mhm.
He got
Uh-oh.
like so pissed.
Mhm.
He's like, this guy's ignoring me. He's like, I'm not leaving a tip. I'm like, what? First of all, the guy's busy. Second of all, my card's already down there, so I'm the one that's gonna pay.
Hey, yeah, you're the one who decides.
I'm gonna decide if there's
And
a
he just
tip or
got there. He doesn't
not.
know there's, hope you're not dating the guy still.
Oh, this was years ago. No, like
Wow.
we actually, like he knew that I was like not okay with him just like waltzing in, getting all perturbed over this guy that didn't like service him immediately. I mean, like, yeah, he called him over like a couple of times, and the guy was just like busy. Maybe he did ignore him, maybe he didn't, but it's the fact like you're not gonna leave a tip. Like, this is a guy that's busting his ass. Like, you have so much money, you can't leave $5. Like, I don't understand that mentality. Like,
Well,
he didn't do anything wrong.
let me ask you this, Retro. Have you been in the service industry before?
Restaurants and stuff, no. Or hotel, no.
Well, I mean, just overall service, right? Like, I've
Um,
been in the service industry all like throughout college, parts of after college as well, like, finding jobs and stuff before getting into corporate, right?
mhm.
I didn't. I can tell you that, and I've worked at some really, really nice places, and I've worked at like California Pizza Kitchen, you
Yeah.
know, um, and I can tell you that some of those servers are fucking entitled. Like they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to serve that Asian crowd because they're gonna leave us a shit tip," or they'll come back,
Really?
yeah, and they'll actually come back and be like, um, "Oh my god, they left me a 15% tip," and I was like, "Dude, you don't do anything. Like you provide
Right.
service, but you're not. It's not like um, you don't really deserve anything, so to speak, in my eyes, right?" And I was like,
Yeah.
and some of these guys, and then when I worked at a private club, which a lot of them were actors, obviously, because it's in. I don't mind telling you
Yeah.
this. I worked at Magic Castle in LA, if you guys heard of it, which is a private club. and a bunch of celebrities go there and shit like that. Like it's, um, I met a lot of celebrities there, and some were really nice and were. I think I told you guys the story before, but anyways, we would walk out, no joke, and this is long, long time ago, right? This is back in like 2010, 2012 or something like that. And some of them will walk out with like, $300 to even $600 per night as a server.
What?
Yeah, I remember walking out with, like every single day, like we would just have that much money. And we barely worked. We would get there at like maybe 4:30. We didn't do any prep work because we had bussers. Maybe we'll just make sure the bussers didn't fuck up.
Right.
And we just took orders. We would go back, we'll put in the orders into a POS system or, ordering system. And then we would just sit around and just fucking do nothing. We'll go back and check to see if they have things. The bussers had to pick up all the dirty shit, bring out the bread, fill the waters, everything. And then we had a runner to fucking bring out the food for us before we picked up the food, no more than 5 feet away, and then put it onto their, you know, their table. And we just talked to them, and that's it. And that was it. And you just think you deserve, $600 or even
More,
$30.
yeah.
That's insane. And these guys are actors and stuff like that. And one of them worked there. He's not famous, but his name is Josh Gates. If you guys want to look him up, I remember his ass. He worked on this show called fuck, I forgot what it was called. Something. It's like a ghost show or some shit like that on the Travel Channel. And he was
When
so
they
serving
go
at the time.
when they go looking for haunted houses, that one?
I forgot what they did. He was cool and all, and he had a very unique voice. Like he was very, um, this guy. He had
I'm
a
looking on
unique
them,
voice
yeah.
in a sense where, um, you just listen to his voice. It's very alluring. Like it's like wow, like you're made for TV. Um, but now I think he's like a photographer or something. As most, anyways, the point is, I don't understand why some people. You're from New York, so you kind of probably don't agree. But I don't understand. 25% tip is just insane.
I mean, some people like to be generous, so
Yeah, it's completely fine. But it became an expectation. That's when I
yeah,
was like,
that's
whoa.
different. Yeah.
No, these guys was bitch all the time. And I remember I was like, and these guys were smart too. I remember one of them, um, I don't want to say all their names, but one of them went to like Brown, and a lot of them from like New York. And I was like, you guys are really smart people, and you're not doing a lot of work. Why would you expect that much money for
Right.
serving someone? Just because we have to be in a tux and shit. And I was like, I don't understand it. I was so grateful to walk out with like even like $200. And
Right.
because I think I was so um not caring about the money, I think I was more charismatic, and I actually got tipped the most. So a lot of the servers would want to pull tips with me and kind of like, help them out. And I was like, dude, like you know, I used to tip like the kitchen as well because we were walking out with so much money. I was like, dude, yeah, I would tip them, um, the kitchen and shit like that. And they usually
Right.
make my food faster and stuff like that. But anyways, besides the point. The point is, um, I don't know. And then these days you have to like pay for their medical bills. When I was in the US, I was like, what the hell is this?
Pay for whose medical bills?
Oh, you didn't know California did that? There's like
Wait,
so
what?
yeah. So not only do you have like the tax of, food and sales and everything, right? Then you
Yeah.
have like a 4% tax for of your overall bill for their medical bills or their medical insurance. And then you have
What?
to tip on top of that. So each time
Tipping
you
on
go
top
out,
of that? Oh no.
yeah, so each time you go out, like forget about sales tax, right? Or just
Yeah,
tax in
yeah.
general. That's normal. Even if you leave a 20% tax, you're leaving roughly about 24% tax. If you leave a 15% tax, you're leaving a 19% tax. If you are
Mm.
generous and you leave a 25% tax, or 25% tip, sorry, then you're leaving a 29% tip. It's like, what the fuck? So I get a burger and I have to tip you essentially half, like a quarter of my burger. I was like, wow, this is insane.
That's a lot.
Yeah. You didn't hear about that health thing?
No, when did
Yeah.
that go? Like, when's that happen?
SF has that. Who else has that? LA used certain parts of LA has that.
This is like California is so fucked. Would never
Well, New
live in
York's
that
the same
state.
shit. New York has
No,
the
it's
same.
not. It's not to the extreme. I mean, yeah, New York
Really?
has its. New York has some shit, but it's not as extreme as California. California is very, very extreme.
Yeah,
I
fuck
don't
California.
know why. It's really fucked up. I don't know how people live there.
I don't
Now,
know.
yeah, you
either.
could say the same for New York. I agree.
No.
But at least like, or there's stuff here that I like, genuinely like. California, the politics and the policies would drive me crazy.
Oh fuck.
New York is like has turned more woke and all that bullshit, which I can't stand. But for now, I can still tolerate it. If it ever gets to the extreme, like California, like fuck it, I can't be here.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Sky said, don't forget to mention the restaurants in LA usually make their recommended tip amount. Yes. Yes. And the thing is, you can't even write in your own tip. It's like 15, 20, 25 or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So actually, like I used to be a really big tipper until I realized like, what the fuck am I doing this for? It's like, why am I tipping someone, let's just say I go out with a family or everything, and my bill is already high with all that
Yeah.
shit. Why am I tipping you 25%? Oh, because you brought me food. But why are we not tipping the cooks then? Like that
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Because you served me, I'm supposed to tip you. So the bartender gets it, the busser gets a very small part of it, right? And then the server gets most of it. But it's like, wait a minute, the server does the least amount.
Yeah.
So I was
Cook
like,
does the most. Like,
yeah. I I don't speak Spanish, but I used to like fuck around with the cooks and the busboys a lot because I didn't like hanging out
I
with
think it's
those.
like pretty stressful, like as a cook, because you got to like make it right, get it out right at the same, timing wise.
Yeah, and they have to
All of that.
garnish it. I remember when I was working at CPK, we had to garnish thing or the um the cooks had to garnish it. I helped them garnish it, but literally the servers didn't do shit. So I was like, what? And then bartenders, like they got a lot for opening up beer. It's like, what? Like, fuck
Yeah.
that. I just didn't understand. I'm a bad tipper now. I used to be a really good tipper. I'm a bad tipper.
You're also like
I'll be
haven't
honest.
lived in the US for a while, right? Or
No, I was in the US for prior to this stint of traveling, which is like about a year and a half. I was there for 4 years. I was working in Silicon Valley.
oh,
And I remember like going to Red Robin's. It's like, what the fuck? Why did my burger that I looked at was like 13, 14 bucks? Why did it come out to 25 all of a sudden?
that's a
Oh, because of
lot.
the one drink and then all this tip and tax. I'm like, ah, fuck. And I just didn't understand it. Red Pie, I don't know. I mean, I haven't worked everywhere, but I only worked at what, 2 restaurants. I've never heard them split it with cooks. Aside from myself, I split it with the cooks, or I give some to the cooks, specifically the pantry. So I've never heard of that. I'm not down. No, I didn't. If it's a sushi place, it's different. I don't know why. Sushi places split it with the cooks, which
In Noma in Denmark? Noma?
Yeah, that normal. Turns
Oh
out they
yeah,
were really abusive and didn't pay a lot of their people or paid them like nothing. And like
I heard. Yeah.
one of their thing is like we have exploration day. Everyone will present a one dish they developed, and if we like it, we'll adopt it into the menu. And so like they're like on their own, spending money in this expensive ass country in the forest, trying to like forage for stuff because that's what they do. Like the local foraging is a big thing for them.
Yeah.
and then the recipe just takes their dish and incorporates it, and they're all happy about it. Like, oh, you took my dish, thank you.
Odd.
So like, he didn't have to like develop the dish, recipe development, nothing. These people just offered it to him.
I actually do want to go to Noma before it closes. I do. It's been on my list. So I went to Denmark and, I was like, oh yeah, we have to go to Noma. We have to go to Noma. And it was fucking closed. But they had a sister restaurant. So we went to the sister restaurant and it was very good. But it was not the Noma. I do want to go before it closes. I don't care. I don't care what they're doing behind the scenes. I just need to go and experience.
You should come to Asia. There's a lot of fine dining stuff here. Get
No, I
some-
actually do want to go to Hong Kong because my girlfriend lives there. I've been to Hong Kong before, but like I haven't seen. Never went to Macau, right? Like that's the.
Oh, it's boring. Don't go. Don't go.
It's very touristy, right?
No, it's just if you're thinking it's like anything like Vegas, it's not.
Well, no, I just like, it's just like the thing there. You know?
I mean,
it
I have
not?
friends visit me before when I was working here. Even though they're like, "Oh, let's go to Macau," it's like, you can, but I'm going to tell you that it's not worth your time.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, if you're just going to go there, I guess like to eat,
Just to
but
see
like,
it.
yeah, but it's not really worth it. Like the food's not that great there.
Oh,
Um, you could probably use more of your time in Hong Kong to go because they have like Hong Kong has like some of the most low price Michelin star restaurants.
okay.
So that's more worth it. Like and all my friends who, didn't listen or whatever, and we went, they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, this sucks. Because like you go there to relax, right? Sure. But the
Right.
environment is just different. You just have a bunch of like crazy ass, Chinamen just fucking yelling and shit. And like I love to gamble. So when I'm in Vegas, I'm like high-fiving strangers, drinking with strangers, blah blah. There, no, you don't even get free drinks. You just you just sit there and everyone's so focused on their own gambling. They just don't care.
Like serious.
They're seriously there to wash money.
That's too funny.
you know.
Okay, so I won't go to Macau.
You should go to China for sure. If you have someone to bring you there, like a friend or something, just like
Okay.
because it's not. It's,
Yeah. Okay, so I went to Hong Kong. Like my sister and I went there because she had a factory. Like she's in fashion and design, so she was working with a factory there, and that was actually really really cool because we were hanging out with like the locals. Then we actually got to see like the factory, which was like in, across the border, like into southern China. And they were funny. They were funny because like they were giving us a tour of the factory, and they're like, okay, and you guys can use this bathroom. This is the bathroom that we give to Westerners, right?
oh wow.
And then because they have like the Turkish style toilets for everybody else.
You mean the squatters? The literal
yeah.
squats?
Yeah. It was just funny how they were like, okay, well, this is your guys' bathroom. Like, you please use this, and this is the key. But the guy was like very nice because he's like just a kid who inherited the company from his father, so he's like our age. So he's like telling us the real deal. Like he's not trying to like hide things from us necessarily. So my sister and I were like, okay, well, we want to like go tour like the southern China area, like on a like just like see what's there, countryside, etc. And the kid was like, well, you have to go with a tour guide. I'm like, well, what do you mean we can't just go ourselves? He's like, no, you're gonna get like your kidneys like harvested and all this other stuff. I'm like,
I think
really?
that's a little bit extreme.
This
Truthfully,
was like 5-6 years ago. Maybe it's changed.
no, 5-6 years ago was a little long ago. I don't know. I mean, I've never
I don't know. He was
explored.
just like he was very concerned for our well-being. He's like,
I've
no,
I've
you should go with a tour guide.
I've gone too deep into China, like countryside, and you know, I've never felt that way. I mean, yes, I'm Chinese, but I don't, look like I belong.
Right. Like you still stand out.
Yeah, so I kind of.
He
That's
was
like,
like very, very concerned. He's like, no, 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 you can't. And then
dude, you're
he
not going
brought
to
us.
Colombia or some shit. And
I went
even
to
Colombia
Colombia.
is,
Colombia was fine.
yeah, like my sister just went to Colombia. I was like, just be careful. Not like, oh, you might get like kidnapped and ransomed and shit. I was like, just be careful.
You just have to be careful because, like, I
Yeah.
do think like we were three girls, and like I feel like the cab driver was trying to like take advantage or something.
Oh,
Or
really?
there was like there were some like sketch moments there. There
Mhm.
were definitely sketch moments. Like it's not a place where you just want to be like high and drunk all the time because shit that goes down. Um,
Yeah. So if you think Colombia is fine, then you be fine in China. Like,
Southern China.
so yeah,
Uh,
it doesn't matter. It's fine. Like I was more shit that scared than in Mexico or South America than I was in China.
oh,
Um,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
So we ended up like, he took us to like a travel agency and he was like, just book a tour with them. And so we're like, all right, fine. We book a tour and it's all in like Mandarin or whatever. Like if they don't speak any English.
Hmm.
So I'm like, all right, let's just do it. Because how else are we going to see like the areas? Like, because we wanted to go to like the remote parts of China. Like we don't want to go where everybody else goes.
Right.
So this tour is for like local people, local Hong Kong people to take them to like outskirts of southern China. Um,
Very
it
brave.
actually, it actually was like great. Like I am so glad. Like we did not understand anything that was said during the whole tour, but there was a couple there. They were teachers, so they would like translate for us every now and then. Even
That's
still, like
nice.
I still really liked it because we saw all these. In some areas were like really poor, obviously, but they would take you to like different factories or like different agricultural sites, and obviously like I don't know, statues and all of that. But it's just like stuff that you would not see. And it's not like I'm going to find this trip in the US. Like there's no way in the US I would find this trip, right?
Yeah.
Um,
So, a lot of people, when I went to Abu Dhabi and stuff like that, everyone was like, oh, be careful with this and this. I went there, I was like, dude, everything's like the
fine.
nicest people. Yes, they could have put it on front, because it's World Cup, but I was like,
Okay.
no. And my wife hates it, but I talk to strangers all the time. I'll talk to the cab driver, the Uber driver. I'll talk to, like, I made so many friends and connections is like ridiculous. But like, uh, I found, and some of them like have like a temporary home there, and they're like, oh, you're fine, and there's not even like an area or a pocket of an area where you should be careful. I was like, all these websites that I read, I was like, they're all just like trying to scare you into
Yeah.
thinking. So I was like, I don't trust it.
I feel like is there anywhere I've been that was like truly unsafe? I mean,
Mexico for me.
like where in Mexico though?
Um, Tijuana.
Oh geez, yeah. Yeah.
And
That's different.
also what really scares me is Oakland, California.
Oakland?
Yeah.
That where like all the gangs are or something?
No, it's all these like homeless people yelling at you and shit. I remember my
Uh, Jesus.
well, fuck, your name is Bayman.
What
I'm
does
just
Bayman mean? Oh, like
like,
the Bay.
yeah, the Bay. I'm assuming that's why he calls himself the Bayman. Um, but yeah, I
Jesus.
mean, I went there at night with my wife who's fucking oblivious to shit. And I was like, this is kind of sketchy. And she's, we were getting food and it was, yeah. Oh, Bailey. Oh, nice. No, but Oakland is pretty scary. Like at night, there's this road where all the good food is at, but at night, it's just hookers, drug dealers, and homeless people wandering the
Jesus.
streets, and they're literally like fucking zombies because they're all high or coked up. Yeah, not coked up, cracked out because coke is
It's
too
even
expensive.
worse. Yeah.
But yeah, it was like that was scary for me.
It's because you do coke.
I've done coke
Zero.
before. I'm not gonna lie. I've done coke.
Such a random
You're-
question, John. You just come on and
Yeah, fucking John, dude.
what the fuck? Why are you putting me on the spot?
Because he's just talking about it. I'm just saying.
He's like, let me get in my question. 'Cause-
But that was a random question.
I've done coke when I was working at a prop firm, and then I've done it a couple other times with some rich folks.
Talking about coke?
What was that?